Welcome to the Crimson Circle Connection Center here in Louisville, Colorado. Welcome. No matter where you're listening from, we know there's a global audience here, and you just blasted out our system with all your welcome backs. Thank you. And we've got a full studio audience here. And man, are they decked out in the beauty of crimson.
It is so red in here that you'd think this was like a firehouse or something. I mean, red and black are kind of the predominant colors of the day. If we could get a nice audience scan with the camera. And I mean, so much red, it's like my eyes are burning. I mean, it is great.
It's just making me hungry. It's the color of appetite, passion, and love.
For those of you who are wondering what the hell we're doing here, we decided this is going to be the Red Scarf Day, and we asked Shaumbra all around the world to wear the red scarves. We've got to have some photos in just a minute, but we asked Shaumbra all around the world to wear red scarves. We actually have the official Shaumbra red scarves right here. Linda and I have them on, and a lot of people here in the audience today have them on. So what a day. And, you know, the color red, I think we ought to do it more often.
Yeah, it's my favorite color.
No, but everybody was so excited before we got started
They
today.
were.
I mean, the energy was so high. It was
it's
incredible.
It's a color of passion,
I don't know
of
if
course.
it's red or just being here or what it is, but
it's
it was
the color of passion.
The color of passion, yeah.
Yeah.
So welcome to everybody. Glad you're here joining us online. This is the Crimson Circle, and we have a day ahead of us with Adamus. But before that, we're going to, first of all, welcome the people who are here from out of state, I believe it is.
That's right.
Good.
That's right. We have, from Arizona, we have two. We have Ms. Martin. Where are you? Nice to see you again.
How are you?
Okay, and then we have Stephanie from Tucson. Stephanie, good to see you.
Hi, Stephanie. Good to see you again.
From Washington, D.C., Trump City, we got Christina Furness. Oh, God bless you.
Isn't it nice to get out of Washington and come to someplace normal like here? The energy's got to be strangely intense and off. Oh, just, yeah. Wow. Could I ask? I know I'm not supposed to ask question because they can't hear you online, but I'll repeat. Why are you in Washington?
I've been there for over almost 30 years.
30
Wow.
years, yeah.
Working for the World Bank.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Maybe they could open a branch office here in Denver. She's working for the World Bank. Oh, am I not supposed to say that online? It's like, oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. Yep. Good. And who else, dear?
We have a couple of really special friends from Utah. It's a mother-daughter. We have Paula Biesinger and Teresa Parker.
Hi, Paula and
Good
Teresa.
to see them
Good
both
to see you again.
again.
Glad
Whose
to have you
idea
back
was
here.
it? Ah,
Yeah.
Teresa drags mommy. That's wonderful. Okay, that's it.
That's it. Okay. And
yeah,
again,
we're covered.
welcome everybody online from all around the world. This is what we call our Red Scarf Day. And not only here in the studio, but we have Shaumbra all around the world
Correct.
wearing their red scarves in celebration for today. It's kind of like a cool way that we all bond and come together. And we'll tell the story
yeah.
in just a minute in case you don't know it. But we have amazing Shaumbra and unusual Shaumbra as well.
That's my favorite.
That is one cool dog. I mean, I love dogs, and when I saw this picture, that is a cool dog. So I don't know who it belongs to, but it is so cool.
My favorite.
So there's actually a story behind all of this that we're going to go into right now. It goes back to the time of Tobias. Years and years ago, Tobias talked about how we came back together again. You know, Crimson Circle was started in 1999, and it wasn't too long after that where he told a little story, and it's kind of stuck with me, and I know so many of you ever since. So let's take a look at what Tobias had to say years ago and where this whole thing came
But
from.
everlasting. Doesn't it bring tears?
Somebody asked about the origins of the word Shaumbra. And what Tobias said at that time was that, dear friends, 2,000 years ago, there was a major influx of human angels who came to earth carrying very special energy attributes with them. It wasn't just one person, it was a complete entourage of humans. And most of you were in that group. You came to earth at that time to bring an important attribute. You understood when you looked each other in the eye that you'd come to earth at this important time to bring something that was needed. You would communicate that there was a secret gathering to take place by wearing a garment or a shawl of crimson color, and you called yourself Shaumbra. Look each other in the eye right now. Your family. Look at the love, look at the light. Remember how you agreed to be back together again. Look around, dear Shaumbra. This is family. Shaumbra means the family of home and the family of the rock. We gather here now, once again, in this love. Beautiful words of Tobias so many years ago, talking about how so many of us were together 2,000 years ago in the time of Yeshua, how we were there to plant the seeds of divinity and, I would say, of consciousness.
Agreed.
That we would come back to gather and to spread later on. And if you extend Tobias's message to what Adamus has talked about recently, we came here to bring this thing called consciousness. First to ourselves, bringing together the heavens and the earth, our humanity and our divinity, and then to let that radiate, to shine out to the world, not inflicting it on anybody, not preaching from the street corners, not trying to recruit people, but simply to bring that light into our own being and then share it with others. That's why we call for today to be the Red Scarf Day, kind of the reminder. And it's also Valentine's month, that doesn't hurt. kind of the reminder of why we all came here. So we thank all of you for remembering as well, for bringing out that crimson color. And all of you online who are with us right now, we look you in the eyes and remember that you're family, and we're a family of love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take a good deep breath with that. And truly there was so much.
You already got people in tears, and are you going to try to go somewhere?
Oh, I just started. Wait till Adamus gets here. So let's take a look back on our last shout. Doesn't it seem like it was about 3 months ago? I don't know what's happening to time these days, but it's just not the same.
Because everything's so jam-packed.
Well, we really didn't go anywhere. We didn't travel. It just seems like so long ago that we
Jeff,
got together.
we didn't travel. We didn't go anywhere. You're speaking on airplanes, right?
On airplanes, we didn't. Yeah, we had a
Thank
lot
you.
to do. Just for a reminder of what we did 4 weeks ago, let's take a look at Shout 5, the recap. Oftentimes, I start our sessions with questions to you. It gets the energy in the room and online going. Every one of you contemplates the question and contemplates your potential answers, and then worries like hell that Linda's going to hand you the microphone. I love it because it stimulates the energy. And this isn't about the wisdom of the masters. It's about the wisdom of Shaumbra. So I want to retitle this whole opening that we do as Shaumbra Wisdom, or potential wisdom. So make me proud. Give me good answers. Give me your wisdom, not just your linear thoughts. Give me your wisdom. Do you believe in God?
What concept of God? I think that we are all gods.
Okay.
Everything is a god.
I believe there's aspects of God in all of us and everything.
No, I don't believe in
You don't
that.
believe in? Okay.
No.
What do you believe in?
Consciousness.
I don't believe in the old God. I believe in an infinite consciousness.
Okay.
God's a label, and I believe in an infinite intelligence of energy and a presence within you that you can go in and feel, and it kind of grounds you.
I bring this up as the opening question in Shaumbra Wisdom on this first shout of the new year because I see so much of this, the whole God concept falling apart. And it's time. It is truly time. A true creator does not have an agenda, is not trying to create a specific. True creation is simply a letting forth of passion with no power, no force whatsoever. That radiance of just the joy of the I am, that goes forth. And then energies are aligned without the Creator controlling the energies. The Creator would never do that. The Creator just said, let it be. Let it be so. And then it was. Start looking at things from the perspective, the Merlin perspective. You go back in time. Instead of evolution, where you have cells continuing to evolve and getting more intelligent and all the rest of that, we're actually going back from the moment of true creation. We're going back from when the earth split into many earths, when certain ones came forward in pure consciousness, and there were other earths where there was less consciousness. And we're actually going back rather than forward. And what you're doing as a creator, What you're doing is swimming in your creation. The point is, it's time to stop thinking linearly, and I'm going to be challenging you every step of the way, every workshop, every shout gathering, to look in all perspectives, not just linear. It's already been created. Number 2, in the things going forward, and I cannot impress upon you the importance of this for yourself, going beyond processing, emotional processing. There is no room in what we are going to do together for emotional processing, because when you are so addicted to your wounds, you're going to keep running in circles, and that wound will keep building. That wound will develop. Listen to this. The wound will develop its own spirit, its own life, its own identity, its own awareness. You're going to be dreaming about it. You're going to be living it out in other dimensions, and you're going to be carrying it around here. You're only remembering part of an experience, not the whole thing. You're only seeing one layer and level. Get over your processing, all of you. Grow up. And I'm serious. If you're still into processing and you just can't let go of it, you got to have that. Bye-bye. Go to the pink circle. Let's take a good deep breath with this one. Oh boy, here we go. This is going to be a marab. Point number 3. Let's just take a good deep breath and feel into it. Stop fearing the human self. But there's a lot of fear of the human, what the human's going to do next. But yet you identify with it. The body and the thoughts and the mind. It's no way to live. Living in fear of the very thing that you are. It's time to stop fearing other humans as well. I know there's tremendous feeling of not being safe with other humans, with the world the way it is. But you see, it's only a fearful human, one who fears themselves, that would then fear other humans. How do you get over all this? There's an accumulation of fears that hold you back when you go into allowing. You see, the Master comes now with all the wisdom, and it's Master has it like on a golden plate, bringing it to you. But if you're in fear, you're not going to accept it. The Master doesn't fear the human. Master's waiting for the human to get over her or his fears of themselves. Where we're going to, the fears of the human simply won't do. Good. All right. That's last month. Good. Well, let's take a look at also what happened last month in our recent events. We had really an amazing event here at the studio called Pronost. How many of you
Amazing? Would you say the word was amazing?
I don't know what the word is for it. It was
amazing is not the word I would use.
How many of you here?
Intense, over the top.
How many of you here have heard it, watched it, or were here live? Oh, okay, good. And online? Raise your hands. Okay, all right.
If you want to hear about just nothing but rosy little butterflies, don't bother listening to it.
It was an experience, not just the words that Adamus spoke, but just even what was happening here in the studio and what people have told me about what was happening at home while they were watching. We had a great audience here in the studio, a lot of good energy, and the energy kind of was up and down all day. There were points where it was so expansive and other points it was so thick, especially.
It was really intense, Jeff.
Very intense, especially as he got into the, I guess about the second segment. It was just, it was so thick you could almost cut it in here. It was just really dense.
Very intense.
And it was amazing. It was actually one of the the scariest things I've channeled, but also one of the most fun. I mean, getting ready for it was kind of nerve-wracking because I knew what he was going to talk about.
For who?
But once we got into it, and Adamus came in and just, I felt like I was like a couple of a meter or two away from my body.
By choice or by, you know?
Oh, no, he had just was doing such a great job.
Took over?
And kind of took over, and now I was kind of observing it and having fun. It was so easy to channel. I mean, sometimes the channeling is kind of, you got to struggle through it. It's like walking through mud. But this, he was just so jazzed about. It was intense. It took Linda and I.
That's the right word.
At least a week to recover from it afterwards. I mean, we were just like kind of like zombies. It wasn't just the information, and it wasn't just how he tied it together with what we're doing, but it was just, there was an energy behind it, kind of, I don't know how to put it in words, so Gene did with a recap. So let's take a look at Pronos 2018.
Okay.
Creation itself doesn't start at the beginning. It usually starts at the end. Let's talk about this. Starting at the end, where we're going to go today, you're welcome to leave after this slide, the fragmentation of time and space in about the next 30 years. Kind of scary when you think about it, but actually kind of fun. I'm not talking about just you, the whole planet. And it's going to be amazing how we get there. Second, we're in the process right now of creating a whole new species of kind of humans. Biological evolution has been extremely slow. It's all changing right now. And probably the most important point for today, that is why you're here. Allow your thinking, your wisdom, your nos to expand, because evolution doesn't just happen that way. It happens this way. And at the same time, it happens that way, and it happens that way. It's not linear. It's coming in every direction all at once. That is pandelusion rather than evolution. And in the core of all this is consciousness, is you. Evolution, Darwinian evolution, moves towards God. It's moving towards an understanding of how it was created, how it came to be. Whereas God, using the word God rather than theo, God actually moves into its creation. You have evolution trying to find the God. You have the God going into its creation, that it didn't have an agenda, didn't format. Say, let's get together. That's an amazing point of consciousness. You have trillions of times more computing power than just 40, 50 years ago. And in about another 3 to 4 years, you'll have trillions times more. It's growing like that. Well, this hockey stick actually, it started going up like that, but then it almost goes straight up. That curve will almost go straight up, and then literally that curve will come back on itself. That is the point of the break in time and space. And it's going to be within the next 30 years. TechGrin, what does that mean? Within modern technology, you have 4 basic categories that are influencing life right now. Genealogy, dealing with genes. The other one is robotics. The I is for intelligence, artificial intelligence, computers. And finally, the scariest of all, nanotechnology. If there is balance, if there is consciousness, the nanotechnology can make the new species an incredible, multidimensional creature that can literally traverse between the dimensions, between time and space. This nanotechnology will eventually enable the creator to meet itself, the creator, in the midst of the experience soup. In other words, the God that you are meeting the God you are right here, right now. Artificial general intelligence, we're a couple years away from it. The next thing that comes right after that is artificial superintelligence. That is when the machine, the computer, is no longer needing the human. The implications are tremendous, and that is why you are here. Because without consciousness, then this artificial superintelligence will basically take over the world. The robot and the human will integrate, but which one, biology or robotics, is going to dominate? It's not something that's going to happen later. It's not a projection in the future. It's happening right now. It's the very reason you came to this planet. Without consciousness, it's frightening, and that's why you're here. We are right now in the midst of a whole new species on this planet. It needed to happen. It had to happen. You've been existing in the same biological form. It doesn't change much. It takes thousands or millions of years to affect many changes in the body or the mind. While they're using artificial intelligence, we're bringing in the I am. And in parallel, not in competition too, but in parallel, for balance. For balance. Technology is going to be a part of your life, but as long as there's consciousness, it's never going to eat you up. It will honor and serve you if there is consciousness. What we have here in this pronost is really much more than a pronost. And it's what I would call the call to consciousness. We're talking about really bringing consciousness to this planet, finally bringing the heavens and the earths together, finally bringing human and divine together. All of this with the theatrical surroundings of technology and robots and nanotechnologies and all the rest of that. But what we're really doing is finally fulfilling what I call the Atlantean dream. I wrote about how we did a mirab. I didn't call it that back then, but that took everything we've been doing for years now in a single mirab and brought it together and shifted consciousness. I wrote it like there was an aspect in you, a shadow, I called it back then, that was within you that then walked out, that left. The shadow of doubt, the shadow, the ghost of the past, the shadow of human hypnosis, and that whole shadow of the true sadness of the Yeshua era that we had. Such a sadness. And the sadness, the shadow of the Atlantean times when we thought we failed. So I wrote about how after this gathering, after the Marab, the shadow just walked out. You didn't have to force it out. You didn't have to kick it out. There was no room for it anymore. Because as you allow consciousness, that ghostly old shadow, that thing that kept things vague and filled with doubt, just walked out.
So clearly, you can make a difference if you choose.
Clearly is a good word because with Pronos 2018, it gave me such clarity and realized that this is where we're going. Some people were saying, well, Pronost is all about technology. I'm really not that interested in it.
It's like, you better be.
Well, and it's not really the point. It's not about getting a technical lesson. It's about saying, here's where the world is going to go to. You know, we hear all sorts of other things. There's concern about wars and politics and Washington and all the rest of that. But he's saying the real thing to watch is technology and what that has to do with where the planet goes, and then especially why we're here. It's such amazing clarity for why we all came together, why we're here now, and what we're going to be doing over these next few years, particularly after Pronost 2018. It was to me, a turning point.
Well, there was a sort of a funny validation here. There's a very sweet Shaumbra friend who tries to keep kind of low-key, but this Shaumbra is involved in incredible super technology development. And it was interesting because later on I walked up to them and I said, so what'd you think? And they said, I can't believe how clear that was and how accurate it was.
Yeah. So he's giving us some background in technology. I mean, not going too deep into it, by saying, here's exactly what's happening on the planet. Let's take a deep breath. We have stuff to do, and let's have fun doing it. So, wow.
I hate Alexa.
Speaking of that, I swear, ever since Pronost, I've been just going through technology times, technology troubles. Everything's going goofy at our house the other day. Everything, the internet, the microwave, the light bulbs, everything was just crapping out. And we were in here the other day doing an interview or recording or something, and all of a sudden, I mean, there was just a couple of us here in the studio, and all of a sudden, Alexa is calling people at their homes. And we were hearing it, and somebody would answer, hello, hello, who is this? And we're like, Alexa, hang up. Oh, who is this? What do you mean, Alexa, hang up? Alexa, hang up the phone quick. And she just wasn't cooperating, and it was so weird. And it's like, okay, I think the shadow that left might be being replaced by a technology shadow. So, and I like technology up to a point, but it just has been really strange. It's like the robots are watching. They know what we're doing.
Speaking of technology, your mic is coming completely apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go. There.
Good, thank you. See?
Yeah, see?
I'm just having bad technology, no matter what I do. Is that better? Good wife. But good wife, yeah, yeah.
She has her moments.
How to make a TV show. So let's take a look at some of the upcoming events. And
oh, there's not much to talk about. Why is that,
they're
Jeff?
all sold out, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
We head off to Hawaii on Monday. Sorry, but somebody's got to do it.
Oh, cry for me.
The first Amio retreat has been being held in Kauai at the Villa, February 10th through the 14th. 14th, that's Valentine's Day. We'll have to have a big celebration. Oh, I'm just realizing
man
this.
That knows.
It's like, I already got your presents. I just bring them with me to Hawaii.
Has it got a ribbon on it?
No. And then right after that, we do a threshold at the Villa in Hawaii. We're going to get a lot of pictures and be able to show you what it's like there. We're really looking forward to it.
It's a beautiful space, and we're really excited about being able to have events there and have you be in that safe and beautiful space.
Yeah, that safe space there is just going to be amazing as long as there's no false missile warnings. Then in March, we're back here. We've got
Aspectology
online. We do this once a year. So if you're interested in aspectology, it's not like we do it every month. Once a year online. Otherwise, there are certified teachers all around the world teaching it. But Linda and I will actually host this online version. Of course, it's in English, and it's from right here in the studio. We're here with you. We consider aspectology really kind of the new psychology. It really gets into the understanding of how we can fragment ourselves and how those aspects either serve us or sometimes beat the crap out of us.
And I personally really enjoyed Adamus's additions to the original material because he really went into how you create aspects that can truly serve you. And I found that really supportive, and it's something you probably kind of naturally do, but to have it put with that clarity, I found it more useful.
And we have some other things we're doing here, some recordings and that in March. But then April, we are
What are we going to do in April?
April, we're going back to Hawaii.
Oh, boy. Oh, it's sold out.
Why? No, actually, one of them.
This one is sold
This
out.
one. This is Amio Retreat. That is sold out. But right after that, we are doing an Amio Retreat.
And Espanol.
Espanol. So we do have some spaces left for that. We have, actually, even if you don't speak Spanish, it's okay because Linda and I are talking in English. But we have a great group of mostly Colombians coming up. Colombians are truly amazing, and you say so also. They're fun. They actually are really serious when we're doing the classwork. They're really serious. But the minute the music goes on, it's dance time and party time.
Very passionate.
If you want to really have a good time, come on over. The Colombians and the Spanish-speaking will be wearing headsets. We'll have a translator, but Linda and I will be speaking in English.
Well, we're really excited because we're putting that word out that we decided because with the small groups, we got simultaneous translation equipment that is at the villa. So that allows us to do events in really any language. We're talking to the Japanese right now and the Koreans, and we have the ability to do that. So if you're listening in from some other part of the world and you think it would be, you could get a group of 24 together, we can do it in your language.
If you don't speak English, we can accommodate that, but you can't understand what I'm saying. So I'm kidding. Look at that look. Dave, could you get a shot of that look? Oh, you got to probably stand over. No, not my look, her look. It's like.
Did somebody bring those Colorado loaded
anyway, moving on. May, we're back in Europe. I'm looking forward to this trip. We're doing the first ever Master's Guide to New Energy Living in Bergen, Norway. It sold out almost immediately. Norway is such a beautiful place, and the Norwegians are so polite, and the food is good, but really expensive. But it's really good. So we're looking forward to going back. Inga and Mariana once again hosting that event. They do such a great job.
They do.
And then it's pedaling down to Denmark, where we're
pedaling. I'm not pedaling. You pedal.
Mainly,
Let's
going
get a
down
bike together.
Going to pedal. Denmark to do. Where are we going? Denmark. And we're going to be doing the Threshold. We still have some spaces open for that.
Where in Denmark?
Denmark. It's in the EU, Linda. And
I have this junior high boy aspect of humor. Hello.
Yeah. So,
where is it?
Bodil Epson is sponsoring the event, and we're looking forward to being back in
Can't wait to
Denmark.
Middle fart.
Colorado, just to let you know, we're arranging a number of different events here, particularly if you're local, that we're doing. But the one thing that is confirmed right now is the channeling workshop. We have a few spaces left open for that. It's July 27th through the 29th right here. We spent some time going through talking about what channeling is, what it's not, some of the physics of channeling, some of the ethics of channeling. But by the second day, we're breaking into small groups, and you're actually channeling. And it's really, go ahead.
No.
It's really so much more about how to sense,
Absolutely.
how to perceive. The channeling is fine and all, but you really learn how to sense energy, and that's what we particularly get into, and then do some channeling and have fun. So there's still some spaces available. For the other events, we'll let you know as things develop.
I think people really, what I personally observe the most when we do the channeling workshop, at the very least, people really find a deeper way to trust themselves, and I think that's my favorite thing that I see when we do it. And that is also something we could do at the villa in non-English if somebody really wants it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay. In September, off once again to Italy, to the Tuscany region. We can't help ourselves. And it's so beautiful. I know quite a few of you here and online have been there with us. There's just something so magical about that area. We just keep going back to the wine.
And if you don't like leather, don't go.
Yeah. And in Italy, we're going to be doing, again, the Master's Guide to New Energy Living. That just opened up in the store earlier in the week for the angels.
Thursday,
I think as of noon today, it went
public.
It's filling up pretty quick, so if you're interested in going, please check in on the website for the information and make sure to make your hotel arrangements.
If you're interested, don't snooze, you'll lose.
Yeah. Well, particularly because the hotel fills up.
No, I'm really excited. It's thrilling because I love doing the workshops. I love being here, but I also like being able to do the workshop, and it's so much fun for us to see how fast people show their interest, and it's inspiring to us.
And then from there, it's on to Slovenia. This is our worldwide introduction announcement that we're going to be doing something we're calling the Magic of the Masters in Lake Bled, Slovenia. If you, that beautiful island, this beautiful picture, we actually used it as a little icon for the mystery schools long before we ever knew what it was or where it was. So it was kind of, there was kind of a unique synchronicity in that. This is going to be a grand Shaumbra gathering.
Wonderful.
We're looking at 2 days. The conference center that we've rented holds up to about 400 people. We'll have a lot of music, channelings. We're going to have some Shaumbra stories to go along with it.
It's a stunning setting. I mean, that picture is absolutely authentic. The beauty of the place is incredible. And then in the afternoons, you can just walk around this whole beautiful little lake. It's just gorgeous,
and
charming.
the prices are actually
very
really
charming.
good.
Yeah, incredibly reasonable.
We call this as kind of partly our Magic of Merlin, which we've been doing for 3 years in a row now. So it's going to be a little blend of Magic of Merlin, beautiful area for it, and a great big Shaumbra gathering like we've been doing. There'll be channels, music, all sorts of stuff. So we're still putting together the final schedule, but it is now open in the store if you're interested in attending. A couple more shots of Bled. It's kind of nestled in the mountains, and it's actually pretty easy access from all around Europe.
You can fly right into Ljubljana.
Kind of at the crossroads, but just a delightful place, which we've been there 4 times already.
At least.
And we just couldn't help ourselves. We wanted to go back. You go walking on the trails all around. And Adamus said that there was an old mystery school about, I think he said about 20 kilometers from there at one point, no longer there, but you know, it's just a magical area. So the registration is now open. We have room for about 400. So
Donald Trump's wife is from
Donald Trump's wife is from Slovenia, yes. Will she be there?
Don't let that stop you.
We're working on it. We're working on it. So she might be. She'll tell us stories about Donald, perhaps. Anyway, so those are the upcoming events. Oh, no, I forgot. We also just opened up another Amio retreat in Hawaii for November. That just opened up, and it's, I want to say, just since it opened, it's maybe about a third full. So if you're interested in joining, sign up soon. Okay, it's now time for Shaumbra News. All the news that's fit to print or watch right here at the Connection Center. I always get so excited about this part.
Which part?
The music. Okay, so as a constant reminder, make sure to check out the Shaumbra magazine. It comes out a couple days before the Shoud. If you're not getting it, it means you're not on the mail list. I think there's a place online to sign up for it.
It's free.
It's free. It's online. There's always great articles. My article, which not saying was great, but my article this month was about what it was like to channel Pronost. Jean's article was about just letting it come to you, and some other really, really good articles, plus all the news about events and everything else. So do check it out. And then, brand new on the Cloud class, what is it? I don't know. No more. No more. I mean, no more. Master's Life 6. It's called Master's Life 6. No more. So this is where Adamus, you know, he does these master lives now, and we're just kind of rolling along. He was going to do it, I think, about creation or creativity, and he said, we got to stop. You just have to draw the line in your life, say no more. Whether it's people who are energy feeding, whether it's issues with abundance, whether it's just emotional traumas, He's saying to go where we're going to go, you got to say no more to this stuff. So he really kind of hammers it in the sessions, and
clear.
has some beautiful mirabs. And then actually in the last session, I think it is, he does a really incredible dream walk to the crystal caves. Now, we did one years ago, but this one is, he brings it all together.
It's a new journey.
Yeah. So let's take a quick look at the recap of Master's Life 6, No More. I'm just calling for a pause. I'm calling for us just to stop during this Master's life and let go of some of the things that really are holding you back. So in this very special Master's life, we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to draw the line. We're going to declare no more. Let's let some of these things go. After you've let go of being the energy holders for the planet, now you're the ones actually doing it. Embodied realization, integrating of all the aspects, bringing in the Master, bringing the heavens and the earth together. That's what you're doing. Things that are holding you back, I call these causes. Well, let's explore some of these. And again, from the perspective of you having been energy holders and you having causes in your life. Now, before we start getting into some of them, I'm going to ask that we put it right here on the screen, that the battle is no longer yours. Many of you have that feminine goddess cause. Battle's not yours. That whole battle of light and dark, it's not yours. Let it go. This whole imbalance of rich and poor, it's not your battle. It's not. Here's a touchy one. The environment. There are no green masters. Health. That battle's not yours. The battle of politics, of government, they're not yours either. Take a good deep breath. It's time right here, right now, to just draw the line. No more. No more battles. No more causes. In addition to that, Shaumbra really don't understand how to manage anger. They've held it in for so long, they really don't know how to express anger. So what do? They wait until they get pushed to the edge, and then they blow up. You learn as a master how to really manage that energy. But right now, as the human, take a deep breath and just allow it to come through. At the same time, you're allowing the wisdom of the master to come through. To help bring clarity, to help allow that energy that's in anger to come up and through without devastation. And to be able to finally say to other people, no more. No more abuse. No more taking advantage. No more diminishing that light that's within you. Oh, and please don't blame them. You're the one that's been holding back. You're the one that's been compromising. Where we're going in our embodied realization, there's no place for this. I brought you back to experience something quite different, something very new, something, well, that's a huge change. You see, here in the crystal caves is what we call new energy. Feel it, it's all in the room around us. Are you ready for something truly new in your life? Are you ready to draw that line to say no more to some of the things that were holding you back, some of the things that were keeping you limited? Are you ready for the next step? Master's Life 6, it's available on the cloud class. It was really fun to do. Well, fun's not the word, but it was really good. And Adamus makes it very clear it's time to just draw the line, say no more. We tend to carry too much stuff with us. And again, as he said, where we're going, there's just no room for it. So with that, that brings us to almost time for a break. But before we do, we want to thank each and every one of you, all of you here today at the studio, everybody with their red scarves on.
Everywhere, here and everywhere.
To the Crimson Circle Angels, thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing it, at least not like we are able to now. Thank you. To all the website translators, the hosts, and the team of people all around the world.
Actually, sometimes Jeff and I are reluctant to go through the list because there are so many quiet people out there doing incredible things, hosting web stuff, helping us, working with events. And I'm always nervous because there's no way we will remember to say it all in one short, brief paragraph, because you cannot imagine how many of you are out there, and we know it, and we can't thank you enough.
So we'll be back in about 40 minutes after we've had a little coffee and taken a break. For those of you watching in online, if you're just sitting there without anything on, make sure to put on a red scarf when we come back for Adamus.
It's a symbol.
It's a symbol.
It's a symbol.
Yeah.
And it's
just
an honor.
Put a little something on for our gathering. We'll be back in about 40 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.